Hans is not throwing in the towel, gonna throw down again, but now mathematically I will officially not go back on that. It's just over because at this point he's up enough games that even if he just let his own time run out, Denis Lazavik is dancing his way to London. Mark it down. What will happen in a matchup between one of the most talented, underrated, lesser known, but damn is he good superstars of the future in Denis Lazavik when he goes up against Magnus? I think it might be better than people think. We'll see.
For sure. For sure. No, I mean, I think they played in the last World Rapid, if I'm not mistaken. Also, Denis and Magnus played a very tense match in Toronto. I mean, I was there. I can't remember if it's 2022 or 2023, but it was one of those finals. And, you know, I'm sure Magnus has enough experience playing against Denis, and Elephant never forgets, you know, liri la la, little Italian brain rot for you. And I don't know. This is the part of the commentary where everything just degenerates. I'm sorry.
I was following you for a minute, and then you anyway, but it was good. The Italian. You speak Italian?
No, I do not. It's just, you know, it's just popular memes. We don't have to uncover it now. I prefer we don't. We just, you know, Danny, we already have commentators, and I think we don't want to bury them further. I think we did a pretty solid job today.
I had a great time either way, and I think the chat did too. Some of them will be honest and admit it. Others will pretend they didn't have a good time, but they did stick around no matter what. And the Speechless Championship continues to deliver with amazing games and matchups, and I'm excited for London. I'm surprised not just by how this ended, because it won't be Hans Niemann, but I'm surprised in how it ended. And Denis Lazavik has made a name for himself today, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, the final score is going to be bigger than it felt, but Levy, the truth is, Denis was just undeniably the better player today.
Yeah. He had like 2 bad moments in 3.5 hours. Folks, if you want to take your chess to the next level, make 2 mistakes in 3 hours, and then let's talk. I mean, he really he played great. He played dynamic positions. He was clutch defensively. He did his thing when the position was suited to him. And yeah, just shocking. Just, well, not shocking. I mean, you know that he's capable of such a thing, but I did think that Hans was a slight favorite. And I was completely wrong. Denis played.
Well, we were both wrong. I also thought Hans was the favorite. And we'll see. And I wonder who Magnus would want to play. We didn't quite get into that in the interview that we had at the end of his.
Come on. Of course, he prefers to play Lazavik.
Okay. I mean, I think from a historical perspective, in terms of there being zero love lost between Magnus Carlsen and Hans Niemann as human beings, I'm not pretending that. But I also think from a chess perspective, I wonder how Magnus feels like just comfortable that he could beat Hans again like he did in Paris versus Denis Lazavik being a new animal. You know what I mean?
No, it's tough for Magnus. I mean, I have brought this up in recaps. Like, you can beat Hans 20 times, but the second he beats you in a match, he was extremely close in the World Blitz. Like, yeah, it really shakes you. And it shows you how much of a relief it was for Magnus in the World Blitz, because he ended up sweeping like the next matches, right? Like and then obviously there was a whole split title thing. But yeah, I mean, he prefers to play Lazavik.
Well,
Lazavik will be tough to beat from the chess
perspective. I'd love for you to ask him. I mean, obviously you will be leading interviews and doing all kinds of content from London. More reason why people should be there. Get your tickets now. But I'd love for you to ask Magnus, because I'm sure he was watching at least some point today, even if he wasn't watching commentary. I know he would be following it at chess.com events directly. And I'm curious what his feelings would be, because if Lazavik played so well, if it was like, damn, this kid's going to be, a little bit of a different opponent than Hans Niemann. So we'll see.
I think the challenge of an improving player is interesting to Magnus. I think chess is only interesting to Magnus in the form of, not memorizing openings, playing different pawn structures and positions and lines and setups, and playing young players who want to beat him. And yeah, Denis Lazavik is that guy. They've played a bunch, but every time they play, he's getting better. It's actually not clear if Magnus is getting better or staying the same level. Like, that's the truth, right? Like, you just don't know, because is Magnus actually improving at chess? That's the interesting thing. That's a very fascinating concept. And he finds a way to win, but is he getting better every year? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's actually, we should probably ask Magnus. I think Magnus has said before that his peak was somewhere in the 2013 to maybe 2016 era. I think I've heard him say that. But so by that he would say he's not getting better because he feels like that was his peak. But is he still, is he still the best player in the world, bar none, when he focuses and buckles down? I think that is the case. But at some point, one of these young players is going to shock the world. It will happen. And will it be London? We'll find out.
Right.
Hans
and right
Niemann,
on cue, I was just going to say we have about 2 or 3 games as we've talked, just atrocious quality, looking like just the boys are ready to haul it in, and Hans wins the last game of the match. But Danny, it's over. Denis Lazavik with a rout in the last quarterfinal.